Hi folks, welcome back to another El Yucateco video recipe. We appreciate you stopping by. I'm James, and today's video we're going to make a seared salmon. We're going to top it with an apricot glaze, and we're going to incorporate the El Yucateco red into this glaze. This is going to be a very simple recipe, but it's going to be packed with flavor, and I think you folks are going to enjoy it, and that video is coming up next. All right, so the first thing we need to do is make a dry brine. What I have here, we're gonna use two ingredients. We're gonna use kosher salt and light brown sugar. Now this is a 2-to-1 ratio. Keep in mind, all the ingredients and measurements will be listed below. We're simply gonna mix this together. Again, a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 being the light brown sugar, 1 being the kosher salt. What this is gonna do is gonna draw out a little bit of the moisture from the salmon and allow this brown sugar to kind of penetrate it, adding some sweetness to the salmon. Now don't worry, it isn't gonna be over sweet. It's gonna have just a nice little hint of sweetness to it. That's gonna go great with this apricot glaze. All right, so next we're gonna take our salmon. I have a center cut piece of salmon, Atlantic salmon. We're gonna take the dry brine that we made, the brown sugar and kosher salt, and we're simply gonna take this and pour it right over the salmon. You want to give it a good coating. Then we're going to place this in the refrigerator. We're going to let it sit for a couple of hours. We're going to let this brown sugar and salt brine marinate, caramelize, and then we'll rinse it off, season it up, and then get it cooked up. All right, folks, so this salmon has been brining for right at 3 hours. The next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna take it out of this dish. I'm gonna run it underneath my kitchen faucet and just remove the rest of this salt and brown sugar brine, and then we'll get it seasoned up. All right, so we got it rinsed off. We're gonna just pat it dry and season it up. And at this point, feel free to use your favorite seasoning. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is I got a skillet here with a couple of tablespoons of canola oil. We're going to take our salmon, meat side down, and I do have my stove on a medium to high heat. And we're going to let this cook for about 5 minutes. You want to take them to an internal temperature of about 145 degrees. And while these are cooking, let's work on that glaze. All right, so we have the salmon cooking. Next thing we're gonna do is in a saucepan, I'm gonna take about 4 ounces of an apricot glaze. I have this pan on a medium heat. To that, gonna add about 3 ounces of water. And then the star of the show, the El Yucateco red. So 4-ounce bottle, we're gonna add about 2 ounces of this. Just give it a nice little kick that's gonna pair well with the sweetness of the salmon. All right, folks, the salmon is done. The glaze is done. Let's get it plated up, get it glazed up, and see how this turned out. All right, we have it plated up here. The salmon has a nice sear on it. We're gonna take that apricot glaze with the El Yucateco red infused in it and just right over the top. All right, so we got everything plated up. Only thing left to do is to give us a taste, and I cannot wait because this looks amazing. Just take a piece of the salmon with that glaze. That glaze actually pairs very well with that salmon. There's a little kick in the glaze, and you get that sweetness from the brown sugar and salt brine that we used on the salmon. Works out perfect. Listen, if you love a good salmon recipe, you definitely need to give this one a try. Again, we just want to say thank you guys for joining us today. And if you haven't, please consider giving us a follow here. We would truly appreciate it. Until next time, take care.